Hey, what's up? This is Danny from Angelwolf Studios, and good afternoon. So, today has already been kind of weird. It's been about 2 hours since I've actually woken up, and I've been dragging along because this morning I woke up like extremely dehydrated for some reason, and it's like after that it's just been feeling like I couldn't get enough to drink. Everything's fine now. Well, everything's getting fine, we'll say that. I'm still dragging a little bit, but I'm in a better mood now than I was earlier. So, yesterday, no video. I forgot to record, basically. So, the help that I had the day before, Jordan, came over, picked me up yesterday morning to take me over to Home Depot to pick up the crating materials that I need to make crates to ship this stuff off. Okay, so today I need to be doing that. What do you call it? So yeah, so that, and put the playing area in the table that was being finished, and I already took the pictures of the table today. I'm sending those to the customer right after this video. Today, today's going to wind up being a long day, or afternoon, evening, whatever you want to call it, because one table still has to get sanded. Now, I've been trying, tomorrow I have to ship tables, okay? One of them is ready to be shipped. As soon as I put it in its crate, it's ready to be shipped. Now, I have another table that I've been wanting to ship at the same time. There's a lot that needs to get done today that's going to be very tiring, very exhausting, that will be the only way that this gets done, that I'll be able to send this particular table tomorrow. So, which reminds me, I probably have to tell the person that's coming to help me transport the tables to come a little bit later, because I do still have some things to do before that person shows up. So yeah. Yesterday was a long, hot day. And I really wish I would have recorded because, okay, so the person that usually takes me to drop off the tables at the depot for UPS also helps me get lumber. Person that's not available this week to get lumber, or to get the crating materials. So when we went over to Home Depot, we had to rent a truck, and the only truck they had available was their little box truck that they have, which is people usually use like for moving and stuff. All's fine and dandy, but so we get out. I go get my stuff. Jordan goes and gets the truck, and Jordan waits on me. We go out to the truck. Truck's locked. Now, it's a good thing that we didn't like pick up the truck, take it to wherever we needed to go, like to pick something up if we had to do that, and then notice that the truck was locked. But it was like a combination lock. There's no combination on the paperwork or anything. That's like their lock to make sure that nobody gets into the truck and stuff. So, luckily, they weren't that busy, so they were able to, come out right away and get that taken care of. So, load up the truck, get it back here, have no place to put the crating materials. I am so limited on space, it's ridiculous. Um, and I'm probably going to have to do some things to change that or try to change that for the better here soon. Um, Ridiculous. But, so yeah. So we just left him in the driveway. Just dropped him in the driveway, left him there, and that's it. Then, go into the house. Forgot my keys. My keys, not in the truck. No, no. My keys are in Jordan's car, which is over at Home Depot. Luckily, Jordan brought a spare set because Jordan used to live here, and was able to get in the car, get in the house. So, adventures. Every day is an adventure. I just wish I was able to record it or didn't forget to record it yesterday. So, today's adventure entails sanding and staining a table. Like I said a couple of days ago, the prep work has already been done. When we finished sanding the table that's already ready, it had gotten already too late to do the other one. So, so I didn't, we're going to do it yesterday, but I was taking care of finishing the one table because they can't be. Okay, that's the thing. You can't finish a table while you're sanding other things because the dust will ruin the finish. Not so much on the stain, but when it gets to the polyurethane part, that's where it really gets to be a bad thing. Luckily, the finish and the stain and the polyurethane dried really quickly because it's really hot outside. It's not as humid as I thought it would be, but it is quite hot. So any finish that's being put on at the moment dries up really quick, which is cool because like the polyurethane usually needs like 4 to 6 hours to dry, and it only took like 2 to 3 hours. So like the heat cut the time in half. Same thing with the stain. The stain usually takes like 6 to 8 hours, and it took like 4 hours to dry. So, which made it possible to do everything in one fell swoop, kind of, sort of. Did the stain the night before, did the polyurethane, and yeah, so I feel like I'm missing some time. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, okay, um, so right now, like I said, I was taking pictures of the table. I'm going to go ahead and send those over to the customer so you can let them know that it's done. Basically, when I do that, that is like the customer's chance to say, hey, ugh, I might not like it the way it is. Um, because by the time I send it, it's too late to say, no, I don't like it. That's why I send the pictures. Um, this happened once before, and I did not send any pictures, and the person did not like the table, so that's why I tried it. I don't. It's not a try. It's a must. Before I ship any table, the customer gets pictures of their table, and I try to do it not on like the same day that it's getting shipped, because I want the customer to say, great, I like it. If they don't say I like it, then it doesn't get shipped. Or if they don't say, hey, it looks great, doesn't get shipped. Um, and I do have to wait. I wait for that response. Luckily, a lot of the customers have a pretty speedy response. I had one customer which caused a lot of issues where um, the communication between us wasn't as well as it should have been. Um, and I think I might make a video about that sometime, because that was a whole ordeal. It was like when you see a red flag, you have to act on it instead of ignoring the red flags. But this goes for all aspects of life, and I didn't ignore some red flags. So, um, yeah, I didn't ignore the red flags. So things happened. So I'm gonna see if I can make a video about that, to get some more detail, so I don't leave you guys in the dark, because it's an interesting story. Anyway, let me get back out. Get these pictures over to the customer, and then I need to get outside and start getting things ready to sand. Okay, so here outside, things are going pretty well, and sent the pictures over to the customer. And like I said, it's a good thing that my customers do answer pretty quick, because when looking at this, hold on, let me turn this around. When looking at this, this is the color that the stain should be. Now, the customer has stated that he wants this color to be darker, which is not that big of a deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to sand some of this down, go back over it with the stain one more time, and see if we can get this to get darker. Now, the reason why he's saying he wanted it to be darker is because he was referencing it off my table, my personal table. Now, the thing is, when I originally built that, I did not know what I was doing when it came to the stain. In fact, the stain that's on my personal table has completely been done wrong. So the thing is, I got to go back over this table and try to get that to be a little bit darker, and possibly needing to put the stain on wrong in order to match the color for the customer. I think something flew in my mouth. Blah. So it is hot as it is hot. So right now I'm going to go ahead and take a break. Second table is the grain is raising right now, so it's damp. So I have to let that dry before I can go back over with the next grit, or the last grit. It's the grit that gives it kind of like that baby smooth feeling to it. So then once that is done, then I can go ahead and stain this table. But before that, I still have to cut the board for the playing area for underneath. Alright. I'm getting tired. Let me go ahead and take this break, and I'll catch you guys later. Hey, what's up? Okay. So, it has been a while since my last clip. Sun's gone down. long time ago. It's, I believe, after 10 o'clock. Yeah, just after 10. Um, so, the one thing that's stopping a lot of things from happening today is heat. Needing to take frequent breaks to um, to sit down, cool off, dry off. Last summer, I don't think it was this hot. I don't remember last summer being this bad. But that's okay. This is giving me a sort of workout. As I told my friend earlier, it's giving me the workout that I never wanted. Um, but I guess, all the things that I do, lifting heavy boards and having that constant wax on, wax off movement kind of thing going on, or what was it? Paint the house. Paint the house. If anybody knows that reference, just comment below. So, Jordan just left. We just got finished staining everything. So, good news is the first table, they said I needed to strip off the poly and put on another coat of stain. That was successful. It is darker than it was. It doesn't look orange anymore. It looks more red. So the customer should be happy as soon as I send them pictures tomorrow. Now, tomorrow was supposed to be the day that I send all this stuff away. Can't do it now, because I haven't made the crates yet. Today was supposed to be the day that I make the crates. And being as Jordan has another job, helping was limited, so until much later. But for the most part, I feel like if I had somebody here, even if it was just part-time, and say, be here by noon, stop work at 9, hour lunch break, that a lot could get done. So, and then as soon as sales ramp up again, I'm definitely going to need that particular help a little bit more often. So we're talking 8 hours a day. That's anywhere between 80 and anywhere between $80 and $120 that I would be paying somebody to come down for a day. Now, I wouldn't be officially hiring anybody, like saying, hey, you're now an employee. Each person that I do hire to start out with will be private contractors with the option to come on full time in the future. Reason for this is multiple things. One, I don't have enough for somebody to do to sit around constantly just waiting. The main part of what needs to be done doesn't come until the back end of making the table. Like the building part, that's all me. I can do that on my own. I don't need anybody's help. But after that, once I get to the um, what do you call it? The sanding finishing stage, that's where I'm going to need the help. Because when somebody's sanding one thing, I could be doing something completely different. Or when they're sanding one table, I could be sanding another, you know. And then when it comes to staining, same thing. While they're staining, I can be doing something completely different, you know. And then I do the polyurethane on my own because I don't know, I like doing the polyurethane. Um, One thing we did notice, and I'm gonna check it in the morning or tomorrow sometime, um, and that is, um, even though everything's sanded to the same grit, some of the different boards that I have, even though they're all from the same place and should all be from the same stock, um, some of the boards soaked up more of the stain than they usually do. So I'm going to be checking that out tomorrow, see what's up with that. Um, because it does take a while for the stuff to dry anyway. Maybe it changes when it's drying. Some parts do look like they should, or because I've used this particular stain before. The only thing is, um, for some reason, like I said, some parts are darker. Now I expect that from, say, parts that are at a different grit. Anything that you're not going to touch, like on a regular basis, um, I try to put at a lower grit, um, just because one, it saves a little bit of time, not much, but it does save a little bit of time, and um, it still looks good. Um, no, it does save more time than I think. Yeah, I think it does save more time. The only thing it doesn't save time in is with the staining. I mean, it really doesn't matter what grit it is. The stain goes on the same. It just happens to be that this, like, a certain parts will soak. I don't know, for some reason it feels like it's soaking up more. Um, like I said, I'll have to check that out. If I have to sand it down um, a little bit to get that lighter color that it should be, um, then I'll do that. No big deal. Um, it's before I put on the polyurethane anyway, so I'll just slap on um, an old 220 and go over it. No big deal. Or old 120. It doesn't matter. And when I talk about those numbers are sandpaper grit. The higher the number, the finer it is. And basically, like, if you ever see somebody using more than 220, 240 grit paper on a table, they're basically just polishing it after that. That's how fine it is. It's like really fine, and all it's really doing is polishing it, not really doing anything else. Many people have done, even including me, went ahead and did like a self-test of seeing when how do I put it? Like, you go to a certain grit, see how it feels by touch, and then you go to another grit, see how it feels by touch. And then anything over 220, I don't think, unless you are blind, and hear me out when I say this, unless you are blind, I don't think you can tell the difference. Now, what I mean by that is, when you're blind or even deaf, your other senses are heightened. So I feel like if I were to do two pieces of wood in one in 220 and one in 440 or 400, whatever, um, that somebody who is either deaf or blind should be able to feel the difference. The rest of us, maybe not. So, whew. So tomorrow's a no day, just a plain old day. It's not a shipping day like it should be, because I still haven't even made the crates yet. Um, Depending on how early I get up, I have to reapply poly to the one table, and just the part that I redid, and then that one's done and ready to go. Um, the next one, like I said, I'm gonna have to check the stain, see how it looks. Um, One thing that everybody really should know about me, if they haven't figured it out already by other posts or whatever, if I am not happy with something, it is not leaving my workshop. Period. Okay? And I understand that some people, they want things done at a certain time frame, but you're asking me to do custom work, then you have to wait custom time. Um, I'm not trying to make things perfect in that sense, but if something seems off about a project, then I have to fix that. There are, I don't think there's ever been anything small where I would be like, this is off, okay, leave it. No. Even if it's something small, I go back and I do whatever I need to do to fix that. So, so it's like basically I'm trying to give you the best product that I can give you. It may not be perfect by all means. My table, the table I made for myself, is nowhere near perfect. Okay, even that I would love to rebuild or maybe change a few things on it, especially with the things that I know how to do now. Um, like I would love to put retractable cup holders on this if I could. I should be able to. I just need to make sure, that everything's the right size. Um, Other than that, everything should be a go. Um, and I'm definitely like what people probably don't realize. If you're looking at any of the pictures of my table, um, I have my topper's in one piece. This was way before I realized how heavy it would be. We're talking this thing is probably about 50 to 60 pounds. And that's when I realized, okay, I'm going to have to make these in smaller pieces for people because if I'm having a problem with it and I'm not weak, even, somebody my size or smaller are definitely going to have a problem with it. So I had to change that design flaw, I'll say. So I'm really happy that the edge banding looks great. It stains very well. You don't see the layers anymore, which is great. I love that part. Um, so tired. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and notify the customers about what's going on. No, actually, no. I'll do that in the morning when I know, like especially on the one table, I gotta know more. But I'm gonna try to ship everything on Monday, so that gives me the weekend. Well, tomorrow and Saturday, I have that time um, to make the crates. And then as soon as I make the crates, I can go ahead and set up the shipping and everything and get these out of here. Heat. Not one bit of wind. Well, I mean, a little bit of wind, not much. There's a very small breeze, but not big enough for me to say, "Oh, this is relaxing. This is so refreshing." Look at me. And it was a lot worse earlier. It was like mid-shirt. I had to like, can I get it back down now? It was like down to about here on the shirt. That's about how much I was sweating today. Um, I wiped my head once with my towel. It's soaked. Why have hair if it's not going to help you with the sweat at all? I don't get it. Anyway. Thankful for the help that I've been getting. Can't wait till this is all over so that I can get to because I wanted to be done with everything today. Ship everything tomorrow, and then because I have some things that are coming up soon that I have to do, and I wanted to be able to tackle those without rushing. So, but the main thing is getting the old stuff out. The stuff pre-corona stuff gone. Post-corona stuff will come up real soon. All right. I'm gonna go sit down, change out of these clothes. Well, change out of these clothes, then sit down and drink about a gallon of water and pass out. How about that? All right. See you in the next video.